Who doesn't love tacos? Everybody loves tacos. So I'm gonna make a Yucatan style fish taco with a citrus pickled salsa. I'm gonna zest these oranges and limes, and we're gonna use the juice to pickle the salsa and also as a marinade and sauce for the tacos. First, I'm gonna get this salsa done because it needs time in the refrigerator to pickle before we make our fish. So I'm gonna start out with some very nice red radishes and cut those very, very thinly. I absolutely love pickled radishes. Trying to not cut my fingers. I love pickled radishes. Sometimes if I'm making tacos or something else, I will just get some lime juice and a couple of radishes and pickle them by themselves. They are amazing. So just put those in the bottom of the bowl. And then so they get a head start on this pickling, I'm going to go ahead and pour in some of this orange juice. Not a lot. And then some of this lime juice. There we go. Need to save the rest of that. Next, we have our mango. And I got my utility knife today because it's much easier for me to do this. You want to cut down either side of the seed. And this is a very large mango. I don't think I'm going to need all of this, but that means it's snacks for me. All right, set that aside, and you can see the pit right there. And then you just go down, and I want fairly small pieces. Don't cut through to the skin. Mangoes are super slippery, so it's actually easier to do this in their little jackets than try to do this peeled. And then throw it in the bowl. One for me. So delicious. Here we have a cucumber and a red bell pepper. We're not going to use all of this, so, you know, snacks later on. And then I want this in cubes, so I'm going to cut down the center. That'll be good. Make tiny little dices. I love the color of this, and that's pretty much why I'm using it. Plus the red bells are a little sweeter than the green. And we have a sweet salsa for a spicy little taco. Cut it into strips. We'll start there. And again, I like to do 2 at a time, so I'm just going to kind of stack them together and dice them up. Nice thing about this recipe is you can adjust according to what you like. So if you want more bell pepper, add more bell pepper. So we've got scallions now, and I like them pretty. I'm going to do with these 1 at a time. Cut it on the bias. Take this icky part off. Save the tops because we're going to use those for garnish, so don't get rid of those either. And then I just got a nice little bunch of cilantro. Just going to chop through this. Probably a couple tablespoons in there. We have cilantro, peppers, onions, mangoes, radishes, and this is oregano. The preferred herb in this is epazote. If you can't find it, try to use fresh oregano. You just put it down in the citrus to let it kind of give it a nice herbaceous note. Typically, the substitution is cilantro, but since we already have it, I wanted to do something different. And after a little research, I found good Mexican oregano to be probably the best substitution. So just put the sprig down in there. So this is our spices: achiote, cumin, and coriander, and some salt, and then I'll add some pepper. Just put that on top, all of it. Put a few grains of pepper. In the original recipe, it also called for fresh jalapeno. I am not going to do that. I am going to use these candied jalapenos. These are absolutely delicious. And the sweetness works really, really nicely with the mango and the citrus. So we're going to dice that up really, 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 really fine. Then just give this a stir. Get those spices down in that juice. I think I'm going to need a bit more juice. Just about a tablespoon each more of the orange juice and the lime. Oh man, that smells so good. All those spices and the mangoes and everything else. It smells delicious. I'm going to cover this up, put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. This is a recipe you can do a day ahead or whatever. I wouldn't keep it in the refrigerator any more than about 5 days, but just so you know, if you have extra, it's not going to last. Somebody's just going to get a bag of chips and finish it off. It's really good. This is tilapia. This is my fish of choice today. You could also use a heavier fish. So let's get going on this little marinade here that we got going in. So I'm just going to take the fish and put it in this Zip-Tok bag. So make sure that this is flat. I'm making a half batch today. The original recipe is for 4, but you know, it's just me and my cat and maybe a guest, who knows. So this rub is achiote, garlic, onion, cumin, coriander, salt, pepper, and a dash of cinnamon. And then we're gonna throw in a good hefty pinch of lime zest and a good hefty pinch of orange zest. See how pretty that is. And then we're gonna pour in our liquid. Oh, and we have more oregano, which we are also gonna put in here because we want that to get all marinade-y too. So how much do I have? About a half a cup. So I want to put about a 1/4 cup in here of this. There we go. Same of the lime juice. Now we are saving this spice rub for future use. We're going to actually use this to make our sauce. Now you're going to close the bag, squeeze out as much air as you possibly can. And that's it. Just flip it around a little bit. Make sure that that spice gets all the way around on the fish. So lay the fish out flat. Make sure that you've got that spice rub all the way around on it. Keep this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. If you go beyond that, you're making ceviche, and that's not going to be good for cooking this. And you'll see the white edges on the fish when we pull this out. That acid that's in the citrus is going to do a little cooking on it. It's time to cook the fish. I've got my pan heated up. Just going to add some oil to that. Not much, maybe a tablespoon. And you want to set this over medium heat because it's fish. It's delicate. It will break. All right, so we're going to get one of these fishies out. Drop it in the pan. Ooh, that sounds good. Very nice. Hang on to this bag. You're going to need it. So we're going to let the fish cook for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. The fish is looking ready. I'm going to pull it out. Don't worry if it breaks up. Remember, this is tacos. And it's stuck a little bit, but that's all right. We're going to take the marinade, what's left of it, and pour it into this pan. So we got that in. We're going to add just a little bit more orange juice. A little bit more lime juice. And we're going to add at least another teaspoon, if not all of the spice blend to that pan. And we are going to whisk and let this cook down and thicken. Now this is going to deglaze that pan and just make a beautiful, beautiful sauce. This is probably going to take 3 or 4 minutes to cook down. So the sauce is ready, and all you do is you take the pan, you just kind of swish it around a little bit, just like that, and then pour it over the fish. It's like a citrus gravy. It's awesome. Next up, tacos. It's taco time. I'm going to make my fish taco now, and I'm going to show you how I do this. So I'm kind of a water barrier person. So the first thing I do is take a little bit of lettuce. This is romaine. Probably didn't need all of that. And then we get some fish and put that on top. Oh, so good. And then we're going to get some of our salsa. So I like the radishes. I usually take 3 or 4 and put those on top. A little cucumber. And then some of the mangoes and cucumbers and red bell pepper. And then I want a little bit of tomato, not too much. Maybe 3 little wedges here. And then breaking the fish and cheese rule, I'm using queso fresco, which is absolutely delicious. It has a very delicate flavor, which pairs perfectly with the fish. And it gives it a really nice texture too. So here you have it. My fish taco, my Yucatan style fish taco with the citrus pickled salsa. And it is absolutely amazing. You've got mangoes and cucumbers and radishes and onions and all this other good stuff going on, plus all your little condiments that you can add on top. It's unbelievable. It takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to make, so it's actually a pretty easy weeknight meal for most people to cook. I have a wine pairing. This is an Argentinian Tarantas. See, look how pretty that is. And it has nice floral notes as well as tropical fruit and citrus notes, which makes it a perfect pairing with this meal, but just for the adults. I'm Lou, this is Evolutionary Eats. Go to evolutionaryeats.com/recipes for this one and many more. You can find me on Instagram at Evolutionary Eats and on Facebook at Evolutionary Eats. Again, I'm Lou, and this is my taco.